Uh, this is the constitutional advocate Kulresh King. This is the afternoon time, and today is the 6th of the February year 2025. And again, as per my daily routines, I was previous night, I was observing the latest challengeable question of the scientific area, as well as the observations of the intellectual scientific non-resolved genetical disorder. This is a legal observation of this century under the observations of the human beings, that the human beings at large, they just want to live. This is one point in the whole of the globe. And as a whole, as the outstanding remaining areas of the judicial dictum of such operative neglected challenges of the human beings, they have casted a lot of the children. This is a primary objected question which needs to be reformed, and resolutions economically and as the social points of the society, of the civil society or the Muslim society and the other non-Muslim societies. Herefrom we observe the humanitarian challenge of this century, that is the very dangerous challenge. Today we observe that the genetics disordered individuals, so those individuals who are doing the drugs in the public society, who they are basically, we have to understand, whenever we go outside the house, in order to have our proper daily routine matter compliance to our physical needs or our economical needs, thereafter our eyes as a human being, we observe a lot of the dysfunctional as well as these disordered groups of the inorganic transmissions of the transitional areas of those groups of the individuals in the Middle East countries, especially, who are charged with the offenses of the narcotics in the public sector. So how to make a sideline or sidewalk of life as to reflect ourselves in the proper executory point of a living mechanism as to avail the well-balanced lifestyle. So my motto is to understand that where is the fatal mistake of the individuals which led their relationships or the other individuals into the vulnerable groups of the human beings in this society. It is the thoughts which make a human being into vulnerable question of the fact. So if one person is driven by the thoughts of the second person or the third person, despite of its own thoughts, thereafter he or she will subject to the narcotics over processed transactions during the time span of its life in this world. Irrespective of the territorial limitations, one have to understand such facts of the existential brutalization of the humanity in the Pakistan, India, all of the 300 above countries in the globe. So we are not observing this human observation as a human. First we have to observe this humanitarian observation, thereafter we observe the neglected challenges of the surrounding. Despite of that, everyone is considering their own thoughts to be accomplished as per their habitual working areas. And in the said area of thinking, a lot of the humans, they become manipulated, distracted, or having no proper resolved methods of reconciled of the assessment of the character building as well as the human basic needs accomplishment. The 2 points where the human beings always get manipulated in whole of the globe. So as a nutshell, we observe that the basic humanitarian law and the challenge is that due to the genetical disordered transactions, since the ancient times, the emperors of the old times, they were habitual as to attack to a area as to politically demotivate such area. And now we are suffering from the Indian challenges as well in Pakistan. The India, they had committed a lot of the neglected transitional as well as non-transitional challenges within the territorial jurisdiction of the Punjab province of the Pakistan. They are basically doing the first offense is called the email phishing, cyber attack to the Federal Board of Revenue, to the State Bank of the Pakistan, to the subordinate other working head employment areas of the work chart sheets in the revenue generation capital orientations in the Pakistan, because they want to divergent the organizations through the cyber attacks, because they have the engineers in the other countries of the globe, so they attack from the Philadelphia or the other country, Georgia of the US countries. From that origination of area, they're attacking to the cyber areas of the Pakistan, in especially the Indians. So Indians cannot afford this question of fact that the Pakistan is having a revenue a moderation line of assessment, because they don't have the reciprocating recovery mode of assessment to the revenue generation in their land out of the poverty sectors in the Indians groups of the states. Indians are basically very poor and jealous of the Pakistanis, and they just want to demotivate the Pakistan in every sector of the provincial autonomies of the Pakistan. And the Pakistani, they are doing the human basic mobilizations of the targets of their event of their ascertainment of the basic amenities to life, and thereafter they just Pakistani wants to have the proper actual amounts of their breadwinning or bread task obligations of per day, per week, per month, per year. The Pakistani have this thought in their mind as to meet their expenses for their origination of thoughts. So the Pakistanis are suffering from thoughts, and in meanwhile, what happens to the provincial autonomies of the federal government, to the non-provincial autonomies of the semi-provincial governments? All of these sectors face multi-social neglected challenges of the humans. The first challenge which a state has to suffer in its origination is likewise in Pakistan, it appears to be a targeted one, that how to safeguard their capitals from the narcotics overprocessed abused individuals. So from this point of angle, as a legal scientist, I observed such laws and facts as well, that those humans who are basically jealous inside their bodies, they do drugs in the public sector out of the pocket of someone else in order to just exploit to the said individual to whom he has a adverse relationship under the civil laws. So from this point of angle, a lot of the individuals, they become the victimized central victim of narcotics, over-processed, over-drugged individual in the said society. Sometimes there are the backdrops of the relationships of the females. Such females sometimes have huge expectations of the sexual orientations, and when a male who is weak sexually or doesn't have the proper incriminating force majeure to the chromosome Y in its body as per the scientific resolved method of incriminating area, thereafter such human being just a male especially do drugs, and when he do drugs he becomes habitual to such drugs, and when he don't have the money or he doesn't have the money, thereafter he the said subject matter always want to have the adverse relationship through the narcotics processed human beings, and thereafter such human being becomes a targeted center pointed victim to the Narcotics Drugs Act, and under the Anti-Narcotics Drugs Act 1997 applied in the Pakistan. This is the way the human beings becomes manipulated as a outstanding remaining area of the narcotics drug products human beings or overprocessed human beings in the public sectors. There are three major signs. Number one, a person who is jealous from the family will do drugs. Number two, a person who is jealous from the society will do drugs. A person who is neglected by either gender, irrespective of male or female, will do drugs. These 3% will do drugs. And in Pakistan, a lot of the individuals have these three adverse significance or signs in their relationships, and they are doing drugs in sheer value of overeating, oversleeping, and overworking, and changing to their thoughts. But the thoughts are still there. So how to fight with the thoughts is a new chapter of life, and our human beings should have to compile this chapter in their life as to ascertain the proper view of the living parameters to abide by the major sins of the society, or to stand at altar from the major sins of the society. This is idiom. So we have to observe such factors that we are not willing to observe such fluctuations of the humans neglected, transitional as well as non-transitional, scientific, non-declaratory observed points in the Pakistan. Stay blessed. Take care.